Hello and welcome everyone. Uh, Thank you for taking time out of your day to join a session on how to maximize LinkedIn for your job search. My name is Daniel Turner. I'm Director for the Career Development Center at Lasell University. So before we get into the topic today, I want to ask what prompted you to join the session. I'm glad that you're here, but please use the chat box and let me know why you decided to join in. For example, do you have a LinkedIn profile but you don't use it? Are you curious about LinkedIn and would like to try it for the first time? Or maybe you consider yourself to be a LinkedIn expert and you're just trying to make sure that you know all involved. Let me know why you decided to join today. Excellent. Okay, great. Thank you. Um, so we're going to start out with our learning objectives. We'll look at why LinkedIn. We'll talk about some ideas for defining your purpose on LinkedIn, some ways to develop your profile, and some strategies for growing your network. So a couple interesting facts about LinkedIn. There are currently over 575 million registered members in over 200 companies and territories. 250 million of those users are active. And a recent survey indicated that 94% of recruiters use LinkedIn for recruiting candidates. However, here's another interesting fact. Only 50% of users on LinkedIn have complete profiles. And so one of the things we're going to cover today is the importance of completing your profile so that when recruiters are looking for you, you're providing a full picture. Now that we know what LinkedIn is and some of the numbers about LinkedIn and their membership, I want to give you some reasons on how LinkedIn provides value to you as a professional. On LinkedIn, you can establish your professional presence. You can stay in touch with current and former colleagues. You can connect with other professionals. You can identify experts, share new ideas and trends, explore new opportunities, and research companies. Also, and this is important, an estimated 70 to 80% of jobs are found through networking. And because of that, it's important to build and maintain a strong professional network. Throughout your career, I strongly believe that your personal network is central to your career management and success. And one way of building a strong professional network is LinkedIn. It's really an excellent, powerful tool that can really help you to not only build, but also maintain your network. So it's really easy to start on LinkedIn. You merely need to go to linkedin.com. You can hit the Get Started button and set up a free account with your email address. But that's really where the adventure begins, because from there, you define what your purpose on LinkedIn is, why you're there. And so defining your main purpose is important because that's going to determine how you set up your profile. Are you an active job? Are you in an active job search? Or are you in career transition? So you're looking to connect with professionals that can help you achieve your future goals. Now, you could be a consultant or small business owner who is using LinkedIn as a way to get new clients. No matter where you are in this career path, having a clear purpose is really key to success when it comes to LinkedIn. Once you identify your purpose on LinkedIn, you want to think about how you'd like to be perceived as a professional in your profile. Now, this is a visual developed on the idea that we usually wear multiple hats. Um, you want to think about all those different personas that you have, whether it's a writer, a blogger, a nonprofit board member, or even a lifelong learner. You want to think about all those hats you wear and identify how you want to communicate them on your profile. So here are the main sections on the link on a LinkedIn profile. I'm going to go through these section by section and provide tips on how to best develop each one. As you can see, I've broken it down into 6 sections. There's your professional photo, your tagline or headline, a branded summary, your professional experience, your education, and your skills and expertise. So let's get started by taking a look at 2 of the first elements of a professional photo and tagline. Here are a couple examples of profiles with professional photos and strong taglines. Notice that each person uniquely communicates their brand and goes beyond just labeling themselves with a job title. This is a part of your profile that shows up when people search for you. So this is really important. You want to make sure you have a unique tagline, but also something that is searchable. For instance, in Ashley's case here, if she wants to show up in searches regarding exercise science or fitness instructors in the greater Boston area, she has definitely accomplished that with her tagline. Now, your headline is crucial because it's really the only customizable personal information people will see on your listings. Also your groups, group discussions, and home feeds. So for example, when you appear in a search result, your name and location in this headline is going to be the only 3 visible things that people see about you. Think about your target organization or your audience, and what do you want to highlight about yourself? Also, think about keywords that someone might use to find you if, for example, you're a consultant. What type of consultant are you? On the screen here, I've provided a few examples to illustrate someone who could use depending on if they are employed or actively job seeking. Now, if you're a job seeker, you don't necessarily need to leave it as just seeking work. You want to put your job target out there. For example, if you were an information technology professional skilled at XYZ or accomplished marketing analyst seeking opportunities, you'd want to state that. The goal of this is to differentiate yourself from the other candidates seeking the same position. Think about what makes you really good at what you do. So here's a summary of what we've already covered. First, use keywords unique to your industry. Write the summary in the first person to humanize it because remember, this is not a resume. You can be a little bit more personal here. Add visuals to make your summary stand out. Incorporate your values and passions, and then include 3 to 4 recent accomplishments, and that's for the professional summary piece. Now, here's an example of a professional summary using some keywords that are searchable for recruiters, like public policy, nonprofit board member. This also includes an advanced degree, the MBA and the PMP certification. Now, you could link to a blog. You can also link to a professional website. If you've presented at a conference, you could add a recording of it. These are all things that you can do to add to that branded summary section. Now, this is just a highlight of how you can add some rich media to this. LinkedIn is a great place to add this because it really is more of a visual resume. This allows you to add links to videos, documents, word clouds, PowerPoints, PDFs. Really, the sky's the limit. Anything that really highlights you as a professional or an expert in your particular field, you can add that, and your summary is a great place to do it. And so now it's easy to add rich media. Anytime you see this pencil icon, that's your indication that this can be edited, or this is an editable section. Next, we look at the experience section. Now, this is very similar to the professional experience section on your resume. You will include your title, your organization, and your dates of employment. You might also want to copy over some of the skill statements from your resume and put them into your profile or the profile of your experience. If you're writing your skill statements for the first time, think about adding what some of the challenges you faced were, the actions and the results. This is really a good chance for you to showcase your accomplishments. Now into the education section. Here you're going to want to include all types of learning, not just your degrees, but you can also add certifications. You can add activities that you're engaged with, any standout projects, honor societies, research, awards, specific courses taken. Unlike the resume, this doesn't have to be limited in length. So you can really add a lot of information so that the potential employer gets a full picture of who you are and your potential candidacy with their company. Now, LinkedIn also allows you to highlight your skills, your industry knowledge, your tools, technology, interpersonal skills, and more. Aim to list at least 5 key skills that are relevant to your field. Now, LinkedIn features the endorsement of others that are skilled in those areas, and it's a really quick way for people to validate your skills and talents. So if you're changing industries or if you've increased duties in a certain area, don't forget to update your profile your profile skills area. This is going to help you increase the chances that your profile gets found in searches. Another great feature that LinkedIn has is the ability to request recommendations. Recommendations give your profile boost, and they provide strong testimonials of your work and gives others an idea of who you are as a professional. So to request recommendations, on the menu bar, select the drop-down menu under Me, which is it's like a little picture of yourself in the top right-hand corner. And then you're going to click the View Profile. Then under the recommendation section, you're going to look for this Ask to be recommended. And you see that arrow that's pointing down. LinkedIn will prompt you to type the name of the connection you would like to request the recommendation from, and then you can give some information on what your relationship is to that person. Now, I do recommend that you customize your message with some specifics on what you'd like them to recommend you in. You could encourage your connection to, for example, mention your positive character traits, share specific results on a service or product that you produced, and maybe talk about your ability to work with clients. Think about what sets you apart and how that person can recommend you. Be specific when you request this, because if you in turn receive a request for a recommendation, then I'm also sure that you would want some guidance on what that person would like for you to say about them. So you want to do the same as well. Recommendations add credibility to your brand, and they can give people an insight to who you are as a person. It's a lot more impressive to see people who are successful in their own right giving some of those recommendations, and it can be a huge factor for employers to see that people are willing to vouch for you. Okay, so your goal is to build a 100% complete profile. When your LinkedIn profile meets this criteria for completeness, your profile is much more likely to land higher in search results. Your visibility increases dramatically. Recruiters and hiring decision makers at your target companies are more likely to land on your profile when they're sourcing and assessing good candidates. Now, when building the profile, you really want to make sure that you have your industry and location, your up-to-date current position with the description, and at least to past positions, a minimum of 3 skills, a professional, and let me underscore this, a professional photo, not a selfie, and at least 50 connections. Now, an easy way to grow your network in LinkedIn is by searching your email contacts, looking at school and college alumni, and asking for introductions. Question: how many of you that are on LinkedIn only have a small number of connections, maybe say 50 or less? Or maybe a better question is, how many of you have more connections on Facebook than you do on LinkedIn? Now, a good thing to keep in mind is that your LinkedIn network doesn't just have to be people in your particular field or industry. There can be a lot of benefit to linking with Lasell faculty, staff, and the Career Development Center. Also, consider linking to your family members and classmates on LinkedIn. One thing that I highly recommend is that you utilize the invitations to reinforce your brand. The way to do that is to avoid using LinkedIn's default invitation and personalize your invites. Now, if you were sending an invite to a friend or sibling, it wouldn't really be it would be perfectly fine to just send the default. But if you're reaching out to a professional connection that maybe you don't know so well, it's a really good idea to personalize the invitation so that they know who you are, what you can help them with, or why you're looking to connect with them. Also, another nice thing to do is to respond to a request to connect that you have received. You can see here, this person has actually said, "Thank you for connecting with me," which is a really nice thing to do and a great way to kind of kick off a professional relationship. You can search groups from the drop-down menu that are related to your field or your academic major. If you belong to a professional association in real life, they probably have a LinkedIn page. Now, for example, because I'm a certified designing your life coach, I'm also an active member in that particular group and similar groups, as you can see here. Now, here's an example of what somebody who searched for human resources found. Some of the LinkedIn groups they might find is the Association for Talent Development, and LinkedIn will automatically recommend related groups as well. For example, if you search for human resources, it's going to pull up related groups that it can also suggest to you as a good option to join. Now, joining groups really does have many benefits, and it's a great way to connect. But it's kind of like the gym, it's really good to join a gym, but if you don't ever go, it's not that helpful, is it? So you want to make sure that you're adding benefits to your group and you're engaging with your group members. And there are a lot of ways that you can do that, including sharing relevant resources, recommending a book, soliciting feedback, announcing an event, or even just introducing yourself. There's a lot of ways that you can get engaged with group members or into groups that you've joined. In addition to groups, the same principles can be used to search for people. This can be useful on several levels. If you're researching an organization for employment, you can quickly see if you have any contacts at that organization. If you're considering a career change, you can view the profile of others and that are in that position to get an idea of the professional associations that they belong to, um, that you also might want to consider joining. You can see what skills and experience that might be needed for that specific position, and it's a great way to identify potential contacts. Now, I also get questions about the premium account. There are some benefits to the premium account. For instance, you can have advanced searches on demand. There are learning modules available for premium account holders. You can view detailed profile information and see who's viewed you. You also have in-mail credits, which are the ability to email someone who's not in your network. You could also be featured as a featured applicant. Now, there are some cons, one of which is the price. It can cost anywhere from $29 to $59 a month for job seekers, more if you're using it for sales purposes. Now, my personal opinion is if you're using LinkedIn to the very best of its ability with a free account, then and only then consider a premium account. If you're not using all the free features, then don't buy more. I'm kind of a frugal person in that regard, but that's my rule of thumb. If you're using all the features and you really want more, then pay for the premium. If if you're not using all of it, focus on using all the features that it has for free first. Okay? All right. Searching for jobs can seem like a daunting task at any time. More than a quarter of professionals say that they have no time to search for new opportunities, but with search alerts, you can get notifications and updates to a saved search via email or share it with you on LinkedIn. Use advanced search filters on LinkedIn to narrow down opportunities by industry, location, experience level, and more. Once your filter search is set, simply create the alert, then let recruiters know you're open to new opportunities by simply flipping a switch on your LinkedIn profiles. Easy as that. All right, and you can start that and begin that at, of course, www.linkedin.com/jobs. Also, LinkedIn has tapped into its network of more than 575 million members to give you deep insight into the salary and the compensation landscape. You can also go deeper into compensation insights about specific companies you're interested in. That way, you're ready when the time comes to talk about your salary. A LinkedIn salary includes base compensation, bonus and equity, um, bonus and equity data for specific job titles, and the different factors that impact pay, such as years of experience, industry, company size, location, and even education level. Okay, so I know that was a lot of information. What questions do you have regarding LinkedIn? Now, I'll give you just a moment to type those questions into the chat box. Now, I know someone asked earlier if students can get free LinkedIn premium accounts. I think everyone has the ability to get a free, at least a trial account for up to a month. But I don't think, however, that there's any kind of free account or discounted account for students. Now, for those of you that want to reach out to me directly, you can do so by emailing me at dturner@Lasell or careerdevelopment@lasell.edu. Want to again thank you for taking time out of your day to join in this session, How to Maximize LinkedIn for Your Job and Internship Search. Again, my name is Donald Turner, Director for the Career Development Center at Lasell University. Have a great day, folks.